In England they say, ooh, new shoes?
Hi there everyone, welcome back to Cancer at Kona with a bit of a different video today. I don't do a lot of reviews and things like that, but today I received my pair of the brand new Hoka Carbon X2s, which are, as you can see there, I've got them in a size 10. Because the Hoka Carbon X2 is a trainer that a lot of people have been talking about recently, and it's relatively new to the market. I've seen some decent reviews from people who are very experienced runners and very experienced reviewers and things like that. And I thought I would chuck my 2 pence in for the pile, coming from the perspective of someone who's brand new to carbon plates in the soles, and actually for somebody who's been interested in Hoka shoes for a while, and yeah, finally pulled the trigger on some. The reason why I was kind of interested in trying Hokas is, well, first and foremost, I have a few friends who run in Hokas, not particularly these ones. I think they run in things like the Cliftons, and they're constantly going on about how comfortable they are. And secondly, obviously their investment in endurance sports, they sponsor a lot of quite a few triathletes and runners that I follow. One person who's a very good runner, Sage Canadae, they sponsor him, so I've had a little bit of exposure to him through him. And they also sponsor another triathlete that I'm following, a girl called Sika Henry, who's she's sponsored by them too. And then most recently, they've just had the 100-kilometre endurance running record, which was actually the lad who did it ran them in these shoes. So yeah, and being from an endurance background and looking for something that's going to be good for my long runs and up to probably half marathon racing and all the way through to the Ironman, from what I've heard, these sound like they would really fit the bill. Now, price-wise, these were £160 when compared, which seems like quite a lot. Now compared to things like the Nike Tempo Next Percent, which I was also looking at, they were around about £230. So actually, it's hopefully, if it works out, they're quite a bit cheaper. There are some differences between the two of them. Obviously, these don't have the air bubbles like the Nikes do. But yeah, I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about them so far. And today we'll have a little look, see what they look like, and we'll take them off for a quick run and see how they feel. So as a little bit of background, for years now I've ran in varying versions of the Mizuno Wave Inspires. When I first started running, I got a few injuries from overpronating, and basically I went to a running shop. I was recommended the Wave Inspire 10s, and to be honest, I've just stuck with them, and I've used probably about 3 different versions now, and I'm on to, excuse how muddy they are, I went for a run yesterday and I haven't cleaned them. But these are the Wave Inspire 16s. Now these shoes, this pair in particular, has done probably about close to 600 miles in, and other than being very dirty, they're actually in really good shape. The toe boxes still in good shape and things like that. They're still super comfy. As you can see on soles, there's very little tread wear on the soles, just sort of around the a little bit around the outside into the middle of the shoe, which kind of shows that I'm a bit more of a neutral runner these days than I used to be. And other than this tiny little bit of wear at the back, where I've obviously not loosened them properly, they've served me really well. Now, obviously, I'm a little bit apprehensive about changing to a completely neutral shoe, which has zero support in whatsoever. But I think, given how much my gait has changed a little bit as I've got a bit of a stronger runner, so it's opened a few avenues into being a bit more flexible with my trainer choice. Anybody who needs a bit of a support shoe while they're running will know it's difficult to find shoes with a little bit of pronation support and not have a lot of cushioning and things like that too. So it's nice to get to try a neutral trainer. We'll see what it looks like, and over the long term, hopefully I can avoid injuries just as I have with these. So I ordered these trainers from Hoka 2 days ago. I had a code for free next day delivery, which I'm assuming probably everybody would get if you go on the website. I didn't do anything particular for it. It was just advertised at the top, free next day delivery. So I popped that in, just knocks a fiver off your next day delivery. And yeah, I ordered them on Saturday and Sunday night, and today's Tuesday morning, and they arrived today. So because I ran in black shoes all the time, I went for a bit of a brighter one. So I went with the red ones. And first impressions of them, when you first get them out of the box, it's incredible how light they feel. I mean, straight away, I mean, these were a relatively light trainer, but compared to these, I mean, these feel like if you threw them up in the air, they would just float away. yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing how it feels with the difference. And also sort of the softness on this foam feels brilliant. So fit wise, I went with the 10. I've got a 10 in the Mizuno, and this is I went with a size 10 in the Hokas, and they fit beautifully. They're very nice. The toe box at the very end, I'll pop them on now, feels slightly, I would say ever so slightly narrower than the Mizunos. So but yeah, true to size, coming from a 10 on the Mizunos to a 10 on these, I'm very happy with them. But I do feel my big toe just a little bit. I can feel it on the inside of the toe box, but it's not really a problem. And assuming my toe doesn't wear its way through that upper, which I don't know, I'll have to keep an eye on that, and I can come back in a few months and report if that is the case. Overall, across the foot, it's a super comfy fit. The other differences that I've noticed is obviously there's a lot. I think the stack height in the heel is a good bit higher than the Mizunos, and you feel, I mean, just standing up with it straight away, you can feel like the shoe wants you to rotate through your stride. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that's like when we get it out. But yeah, first impressions, I was super impressed with delivery times. I mean, it was literally, yeah, I think if I'd ordered it on a weekday, it would have been next day. And given everything that's going on with COVID and delays and deliveries at the moment, I'm super happy with that. The fit is super comfy. They feel super lightweight, and yeah, I'm looking forward to getting outside with them, and we'll see what they feel like when we get out. So hopefully, if we can avoid the rain, we'll go out, we'll do 5 to 10k and see how they feel. So yeah, so straight away they feel super comfy. I'm actually quite supportive through the stride. You can kind of, the foam feels relatively soft, so you certainly can feel your foot kind of like having the pressure taken off it from the impact. And coming from our Mizunos, which are a lot flatter along the bottom, these have a little bit more of a drop, and you can really feel that sort of letting your foot flow through the stride. And yeah, first impressions, they feel absolutely great. So we'll have a jog down the end of the woods, turn around, head back up towards the top of the hill, and we'll do a few strides and see how it feels at higher pace. So yeah, relatively moderate pace, they feel great. So let's turn the pace up a little bit. We'll do a couple of strides, and then there's a little KOM at the top of this street which I'll go for, and then see how close we can get to it. So see how they feel about that. Well, my watch tells me we didn't get the KOM, so they don't have rockets on them, but they do feel great. And especially when you're trying to push intervals, you really feel that return back out the sole, which I'm assuming is the carbon plate doing its job. Let me get my breath back. So yeah, I mean, you can feel it even running at an easy pace. It gives a nice spring to the shoe, but when you sort of lift up the pace a little bit to do sort of strides and sprints, I think things for like around my sort of 10k pace, you can feel them doing quite a lot of work, and they feel really nice. So yeah, looking forward to doing some more miles than these, and yeah, we'll see how they hold up. I've got a couple of runs this week, including quite a tough interval one, which Ben is designed to gear towards improving 10k and half marathon pace. So yeah, we'll use them for that, and we'll see how they perform. But yeah, first impressions, they're absolutely brilliant. Oh, so there we go, back from a little first impression run, just 3k, basically just out around the block back, so 15 minutes, 40 minutes. Yeah, first impressions of the shoes, I really like them. I was a little bit, after hearing a few complaints about the tongue, I was a little concerned how it would feel when I got them on, but once you get them on laced up, you get out moving, and the tongue's really flexible. The upper is super lightweight. You could feel some nice cool air getting in there, and it is very cold there. Getting in there, keeping it nice and breathable on the upper and things like that. Super comfy. The narrow toe box I mentioned earlier on, actually you don't really, once you've got them on and you're walking around them, you don't feel it. So yeah, I mean the cushioning on the shoe, I keep banging on about how comfortable it was, how comfortable they are. But yeah, I mean the cushioning on the shoe it's a big step up over the Mizunos and things like that, which was what I was looking for. I wanted something that was really going to take that impact on my longer runs, but still be light enough to let me kick on and do some sprints, do some like faster stuff like 10k work. And obviously at some point in the near future, as part of my training, I'd like to try and set a new half marathon PB, and I think these would be perfect for it. If I had one criticism from them from the run I did today, it's a little bit damp underfoot today. And while it was, for the most part, it was fine. You certainly don't notice it while you're running, but if you're walking around, if I had to go on to some sort of like muddier terrain and things like this, or if it was a little bit looser, a little bit sloppier underfoot today, I mean, if you look at the tread, it's not the deepest on the bottom of the shoe, which, to be fair though, it's not designed to be an off-road trainer. For road running and running along the footpaths today, even wet underfoot, it felt absolutely fine. But it's just something, if I had to pick something about it that would probably be a disadvantage over the Mizunos, the tread on the Mizunos is a good bit chunkier. So what I'm going to do is probably keep them for things like running on muddier trails and stuff like that. And plus it keeps these a little bit nicer and stuff as well. So, but really, yeah, overall I'm super impressed with them, super happy with them. And yeah, I can't really have any complaints. Going back to the tongue, like sort of a few people were saying earlier, because I did forget to mention, all I said it was had some soft padding. You can kind of see in there, hopefully. It's got like it's almost like the kind of material that you would sort of expect to find on like a chamois leather. It kind of feels like that, and it's really nice and comfortable once you get it, and the tongue's really flexible and stuff like that. The top, I mean, you can see it there, it's super lightweight, super thin. Everything's, it's really comfortable. I mean, I keep banging on about the comfort, but yeah, I mean, what more do you want, really? But what we'll do is, like I said, I'm going to be using these for the vast majority of my runs going forward. I will probably try and say maybe 150, 200 miles we'll get in these, and we'll revisit them, we'll see how they're holding up, and yeah, we'll just take it from there. So hopefully this information has been a little bit of help to you. If you're looking at going for something like this, maybe it helps make your mind up. If you've got any questions about them, feel free to drop a comment below and just ask me there. I'll try and get back to as many as I can if anybody's interested. And if the video has been of help to you, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. We are still carrying on our fundraising towards brain tumour research, and obviously to help other people not have to go through the sort of crap that I've had to go through over the last few years. And yeah, you can find the link to Just Giving below, and all the money goes to brain tumour research. If you'd like to follow me on Strava and see what sort of runs I'm getting up to in these, there's a link in my description below. The more the merrier on there. So to sign off, Carbon X, absolute cracking trainer. I'm really looking forward to getting a lot more miles in them. So all the best and have a great day. Catch you later.